So I want to talk about some conversations that have been going on in the internet about hustle, about privilege, about values. If you haven't heard that, I'm not going to go into all of that, but I've felt like I needed to address some things that I've seen in myself, and I want to be aware and growing in how I show up for you online and how I encourage you to show up online so that we are doing each other good and so that I am truly serving you well. The first thing I want to talk about, like I said in the title, is hustle. And I am so guilty of this. I was working at 9 o'clock last night and my toddler came in and cuddled up next to me and I just let him fall asleep. And I was like, you shouldn't be working at 9 o'clock at night, Jenna. You should be cuddling that toddler. So where I have encouraged you to hustle and to your detriment, I ask you to forgive me because this is not what I truly want or who I want to be. I believe that you should show up in stories daily. I think it'll do you good, but I don't want that to come from a place of pushing and striving and hustling. I think it's great when you can show up and do live video, but again, I don't want to encourage you or coach you in doing live video to your detriment. I want it to be from a place of joy in what you are sharing, of helping others, that you are so glad to have this medium to show up for other people and serve them well, and that you give out of your abundance and that abundance comes back to you. That is how I want to encourage you. Also, conversations have been going around in the last several years, but specifically in the last couple of weeks, about privilege, and it has challenged me to think about how much privilege I have. I am a privileged person in my nationality, in my race, in my social economic standing, in my education, and I can see this like in nationality, for example, because I lived in Europe. My husband is French, and I saw that tension, that when people weren't sure where I was from, because I do have an accent when I speak in French, but it's not clearly Anglophone. People, when I said that I was from the US, I could judge how they responded, and I am privileged. I did nothing to choose where I was going to be born, and here I am, an American, and I'm grateful for that. But it is a privilege. Also, just that that nationality, this nationality, I can have safety and travel. Just hi to everybody who's joining. So we're talking about hustle and privilege and values. And yes, I am privileged. I think about where I was born. I was born into a loving family, and whatever dysfunctions I learned, I have the privilege of easily available tools to learn from. I had choice in my marriage. I had giving birth. I had privilege to choose where and with whom I gave birth. I gave birth safely and joyfully. Even in health, I have so much privilege and choice in the healthy foods that are readily available to me that I can put in my body. I have the privilege and choice of going to work out or not, and I don't work out much. So all of these things that I recognize are my privilege. And why is that important? It's because I've been thinking about my values that I wrote down on a cabin weekend a few years ago. And one of those values is accessibility. I really don't like when things are elite and set apart. And I know that that has a certain charm, but that's not one of my values. I don't want things to be so elite and luxurious that they are out of reach. I want things to be accessible, and I want to bring accessibility to you. I want to bring accessibility to underserved populations, especially with chiropractic. I think that there's a lot of people who chiropractic is not accessible to them, and if I'm doing my job well, I will figure out better ways of bringing chiropractic to underserved populations, whether it's underserved geographically or economically, or however they are finding that their chiropractic is inaccessible to them. Um, with that, I am still figuring that out. I'm still, I don't want to use cliches, but I am listening and learning and questioning, mostly questioning myself. And how do I do these things? Is it different hashtags that I use that bring chiropractic to underserved people? I don't know yet. I do know that I want to support the chiropractors who are doing a wonderful job, and I want to raise their voices. And that's especially chiropractors who are from minorities, who are just doing a wonderful job, and I just love and appreciate them. So I want to raise their voices, and I want to share some of those with you. I don't know if you have seen or known all of these. I'm going to read their names because I wrote them down so I wouldn't forget. Just some that are really inspiring to me from the BIPOC community, women. Chiropractic is for every human, and I want to help bring it to every human. So there's Miami Spine. Dr. Randall Thompson is doing a great job in Miami, and you should see his beautiful smoothie videos. I love it. It's such a great way of showing like his culture of health and making it accessible and inspiring. There's Dr. Betty Bampo at Precision Care, Dr. Dean at Dapper Chiro. His reels are literally on fire. All of his reels, he does all of these stretches and things that are fantastic. There's Dr. Cass. She does really good reels as well. She's a student, Verona Jordan. She also has t-shirts that say "You Matter" that are really inspiring. Dr. Frank Vaught, he does the Evoke conference that he has started. I need to learn more about it, but it'd be great if you did too. There's also Dr. Nona Javid, who is so inspiring with marketing and reaching people. There's Dr. Tuck, the Chiro Dad, and his message is also about teaching fathers how to be fathers and to be strong, healthy men. So those are just a few names. I would love it if you would give me more names of inspiring chiropractors who are doing a great job. But as I said, I'm really looking at listening and learning and questioning myself, because I know I've made mistakes and that's not okay. And I want to do better going forward. So thanks for joining this little conversation. I would love to have more conversations about it. So especially talking about values. What are your values? What are things that we as humans should put in higher priority? So slide into my DMs, send me a message, leave a comment, reach out to me in email. It's jenna@adjustyourmedia.com. Anyway, I would love to have a conversation with you. So thanks for joining me today.